Győri Keksz. Győri is a brand name for biscuit products and candies owned by the Győri Keksz Ltd, Hungary. In its early years, the production took place in Győr with the help of only 50 professionals. In its most successful years, however, the company employed around 1,000, later even 2,000 people, and offered 334 different goods. History. The predecessor of the company was established from Hermann Bachy's steam mill in Győr Sziget and became the first biscuit factory of Hungary in 1880. In 1892, however, Lajos Koszlin bought the factory. Koszlin had already had a biscuit factory in Bregenz, Austria, but the competition was so stiff there that he moved to Hungary and brought all his equipment for biscuit production with him in 6 stock cars. He also invited 50 professionals and restarted work in the new country in 1900. The products of his factory included biscuits, rusk, Sieveback rusk for the army, wafers, and gingerbread. The company became successful. Before the outbreak of the First World War, it already employed about 1,000 workers. As the fights started and the needs of the citizens of Hungary and of the army increased rapidly, the company fulfilled a rising number of orders. The products of the Koszlin factory were demanded all over the Austro-Hungarian monarchy, and the factory in Győr became the acropolis of Hungarian biscuit production. After the First World War, the production was cut down because of the lack of ingredients, and the number of employees was reduced to around 500. To balance the situation, the factory started producing chocolates and bonbons in 1922 and candies in 1925. By 1926, the company was exporting to 14 countries, and in the 1930s it had 334 different kinds of products. In 1931, the company was reformed as a public limited company, and in spite of the effects of the Great Depression, it retained its variety of products. Under the German occupation, however, it was declared a factory for war efforts and restarted the production of only biscuits, wafers, and rusk. In 1945, the factory again had to suffer from the lack of money and ingredients, so the production was suspended for 4 months, after which the factory was ordered by the mayor of Győr to serve the public demands. The production halls were even let to the coalition of the Pesti Kereskedelmi Bank, Commercial Bank of Pest, and the Leipziger Vilmos Szesz, ESQ Korgyőr Liquor and Sugar Factory of Vilmos Leipziger. Although being nationalized in 1947, the factory was declared to be independent again in 1948 by the Minister of Agriculture of the time, and in 1950 the factory was reformed for the third time as the Győri Keksz Ltd Nemzeti Vállalat National Company of Biscuit and Wafer Factory of Győr. In 1963 the status of the factory changed again, since all the 6 confectionery factories of the country were converted into a general one, namely the Magyar Edisipari Vállalat Hungarian Confectionery Company. In the 1980s the factory was modernized several times, and after the change of regime, the Győri Keksz Ltd biscuit and wafer factory of Győr was privatized by the British company, the United Biscuits, in 1991, and was registered under the name Győri Keksz Ltd. Between the late 1990s and the early years of the new century, several important changes came into force. The headquarters of the company was shifted from Győr to Budeos in 1997. The French Danone bought the company from the United Biscuits in 2000, and in 2007 the Danone division, together with the Győri Keksz Ltd, was bought by the Kraft Foods. The headquarters of the company is presently in Székesfehérvár, but production does not take place within the borders of Hungary anymore. Product history. At the very beginning of the history of the factory, in the times of Lajos Koszlin, produced biscuits, rusk, Sieveback rusk for the army, wafers, and gingerbread. In addition to these, in 1912, the company bought the license of the Albert Keksz Albert biscuit, probably named after the husband of Queen Victoria, from the British T&T Vickers Company. In 1922, this repertoire was broadened with chocolates, bonbons, and candies in 1922 and in 1925 respectively. Besides these, by 1926 jellies were included in the offer. In 1963, The production of the chocolate figures, bonbons, Christmas candies, Salenkuker, jellies, chewing gums, drops and rusks was suspended, but in return the factory got the right from other factories to produce gingerbread, wafers and bebe biscotto, a kind of sweet sponge cake. In 1968, after the factory was enlarged by another division, the production of baking powder, vanilla sugar custard powder, and tea flavorings could start. In 1976, due to a license contract with the Dr. Oetker, the supply was broadened again. Moreover, in 1980 the Győri Keksz received the license of the Negro, a kind of candy known as the chimney sweep of the throat. Its original flavor was anise menthol, but today. Today's offer can be grouped along 10 categories. The Győri products, corn biscuits with various flavors. The Győri's products, short biscuits with various flavors and sponge cakes with 3 kind of fillings. The Negro products, candies with or without filling in 7 flavors. The Pilota products, short biscuits with cream or jelly filling or with chocolate covering. The Tuck products, salty crackers in salt, ham, or paprika flavors. Candies in 4 different flavors. The Győri Napoli products, wafers in 7 different flavors. The Albert and Corpovit biscuits. The Telly products, salty crackers in 6 different flavors. Hastartasi Keks, plain biscuit,